But yeah, so I'm also going to show you how to clean the filter in your front loading washing machine. So if you have a top loader, like you put this clothes in from the top, you won't have one of these. This is for the front loading ones. So there's a couple of maintenance things that you need to know with these, because they're really bad about growing mold and mildew on the inside of them because of like the rubber seal that they have. They do have a filter somewhere on the bottom. And then, so the first tip for you is like with any washing machine, anytime you're done with a load, always leave the door open. And then if you have the little slide out drawer, like where your soap goes, leave that open too in between your washes. So that way air can flow into it and it's not just like having sitting water, especially with this rubber seal. They're really bad about growing stuff in these. So that would be my first tip, is to just leave both of these open in between washes. You can also take this little tray out usually. I always forget how to do it. Okay. So for mine, there's this button basically right here. You press down on this and pull out. So you can actually take these out and then it comes in pieces. And you can wash all these pieces. Try to open it without just making a mess everywhere in here. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this comes out in pieces. So I have a bucket right here that I'm just going to toss these into, and I'm going to spray them with my multi-purpose cleaner and just let these sit over here. Because sometimes like the soap will get really built up in here. There's like some dirt that gets stuck in here. So yeah, just make sure that these pieces, you don't have anything like real built up in there. And then I'm going to spray the inside of this lip here, this rubber ring. There's also, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's like the drain holes in this rubber lip. 3 little holes. They're really bad about getting like hair stuck in there, or little pieces of like lint. Small things can get stuck in there. So just make sure there's nothing blocking the holes. If there is, you can literally just pull it out. So I'm just going to spray the inside of this rubber ring. And go ahead and spray the drum. I'm going to spray the inside of this too. And let all this sit while I'm working on this filter down here. So for the filter down here, mine is like a press button. It pops open, kind of like your gas tank for some cars. And then what is in here, there's a little rubber tube. And then here's the filter. So before you try to take the filter out, you need to take this tube out, and you need something to catch water, because there is water that stays in the bottom of the drum, and it's like leads to this. So as soon as you take this filter out, if you don't purge the water first, it'll just pour all over the floor. So I have some extra towels. I always make a mess. So I'm going to shove one under here. And I also have my shot vac right here. So because sometimes it's way more water than what you think. So if this starts to overflow, I'm just going to suck it up with my shot vac, okay? So I have that as a backup. So there's this little rubber tube that's just like on a hook up there, and it has this little end cap on it, and you just have to pull that off. Sometimes it's like really stuck in there. Okay, and then see, water's starting to come out now. So you just have to wait and let this drain. I'm going to take out the filter part, and all you have to do for that is you unscrew it. And then you pull it out. And this is where all the nastiest part will be. So you can see there's chunks of hair, and it's starting to grow like mold in there. So if your clothes are starting to smell bad, or if you smell like mold and mildew, it's often because of this, whatever's growing in here. So I'm going to spray this and scrub that. And it does stink. your shirt. I'm also going to spray in that hole. It's another great reason to have a shop vac, so that way you can suck out the nasty stuff that's like in there. I know you can't see in that hole, but it's gross. Let me show you. So see, it's got mold growing down there too. And this is only after a couple of months. Like I do this every couple of months. So again, the longer that you go without doing this, the nastier it will be. Isn't it annoying how much we have to clean things that like their purpose is to clean? And then I always take my sponge and I get in between the rubber ring and I scrub that. Because again, especially if you leave your washer door shut, in between loads, this is for sure going to build up a lot of mold and mildew in there. So you definitely want to scrub this ring. And then I always wipe the inside of the door too, especially if you have like pets. I always notice that like a lot of dog hair or cat hair will get stuck on the inside of this drum here. So I always wipe the inside of that too. Okay, and then I'm going to go rinse these pieces off in my sink real quick and I'll be right back. Okay. So now I'm just going to dry these and put this back together. And then I'm going to run it on a clean cycle. Most of these like front loading ones will have like a self-clean cycle. And they have like special little tablets that you can like throw in there for the self-clean. You don't necessarily have to use either the self-clean or the special tablets. I'm going to be using a cap full of my Magic. This is a heavy duty cleaner, degreaser, whatever. You can also use it to mop floors if they're not wood. But this is super great. It's super concentrated. I just use one cap, throw it in there empty, and run it on the self-clean. But you can also use like throw some vinegar in there, just run it on hot. So I just always do that after I do this to just kind of flush everything out before starting another load of laundry. No chunkies on it, no more nasty mold. It doesn't stink now. It actually, like, I could smell it. It's not pleasant. So that definitely needed to be cleaned out. Okay, so this, let me wipe that first. Chunkies kind of just sitting here. Okay, so this goes back in, just like a little drawer. Okay, and then you just have to put your filter back in, so just screws right back in. Make sure that's tight, and then this little piece that goes on the little tube. Just seal that back up. And then there's a little hook in here that holds that. So you just put that back into place. And And all the washers might be a little bit different, but they should be pretty similar in how they work, where the filter's usually located somewhere on the front bottom of it. And then mine, like I said, is just like you just have to press it to open it. And yeah, there was some water spilling over there, so let me get that. I always make a little mess. Okay. So then I'm going to put a cap full of this in the detergent slot. Okay. So then I'm gonna turn it on. Since mine has the self clean, I'm gonna go ahead and run it on the self clean. It's a really long wash. It's like 4 hours. That's absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, so we're gonna do that. And then I'm also just gonna wipe down the front of my washer and dryer real quick since I'm already cleaning it.